Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. BKP here, and it is time for BKP Politics on FYNTV.com. We are in Studio A. That means things are a little different because then I can look across the room, voice a rural America there. Studio A, I'm your host, BKP. No, I have not been whisked away to Gitmo. You think if Brad Raffensperger, Georgia's Secretary of State, had enough pull and could get me sent to Gitmo, do you think that would happen? Hell yeah, I do. But no, I've yet to been whisked away to Gitmo. I'm not at Gitmo. But the good news is if I get sent and I get sent to Gitmo, okay, then Biden says he's going to close it. There's two places I love being. One, I love being attacked by liberal media, and two, I like being on Brad Raffensperger, Georgia Secretary of State's S list. I like it. It's where I want to be. Okay, folks. Do you remember when we were it's Thursday morning. Thursday morning. What happens today? Let me see through my stack of stuff. What has taken place today? Is today a vote on, let me see. Do you know who this lady is? I'll talk about this in a minute. Give me number 7. Do you know who she is? Well, it says Lindsey Boylan, right? Number 7. Just stay there just a minute. Do you know who she is? Number 4. Just a couple quick things that number 4. Joe Manchin, Democrat Senator Joe Manchin says he will vote for Biden's interior pick, Deb Haaland, after throwing budget nominee Neera Tanden into doubt by refusing to back her over mean tweets. Now, I get why Joe Manchin, Senator of West Virginia, I get why he says he will, not over mean tweets. So let me just say this, because I know this audience, you research everything. We want Joe Biden to pull Neera Tanden's nomination to be the director of the OMB, okay? Not because of mean tweets. So when I see Joe Manchin is going to, not vote for Neera Tanden over mean tweets, my good friends in the state of West Virginia, the woman he will support here will shut down your coal mines, shut down your natural gas leases, okay? The woman that Joe Manchin says he will vote for in West Virginia, natural gas, coal, all right, fracking, your energy jobs will be completely destroyed. And Joe Manchin, your senator, is helping do that by supporting this lady, Deb Haaland, for Interior Secretary. So I just thought my good friends there in West by God, Virginia, should know that right out of the box. There's a confirmation hearing today at noon. Number 15, okay? This is a confirmation hearing today. Oh, I think it starts at 10 a.m. This is a man who thinks he's a woman, okay? This is Richard. This is a man who thinks he's a woman. This is a man who thinks he's a woman. This is a man who thinks that your children should not be forced into gender identity should not be forced at all. They should decide on their own somewhere around 12. okay? The confirmation hearing for this man who thinks he's a woman is number 11, okay? Assistant Health Secretary nominee, Dr. Rachel/Richard Levine. That is today on C-SPAN 3 at 10 a.m. I want to hear Republicans question Dr. Levine today. Now, Becerra, let me go here. This is who she would help work for, okay? Assistant Health Services Secretary nominee. She would actually work for, where is one of Becerra's pictures here? Had here just moments ago. Give me number 13. Okay. Now the man who thinks he's a woman would work for Becerra, okay, from out in California. All right. Becerra, we talk about abortion. We'll talk about that a little later. All right. Just saying. The confirmations you need to watch for. Now, I do not know why they caved. Give me number 3 before we get into our first real segment of the morning. Sunday voting restored in Georgia bill that tightens election rules. Now, HB 531 and SB 241, but HB 531 would end Sunday voting. Okay? Sunday voting needs to end. It's called Souls to the Polls. So I am going to predict there a couple days ago in the hearings concerning Souls to the Polls, or HB 531, the Omnibus election bill, there was a Jewish fella. Lord, won't I get attacked for that? There was a Jewish fellow that went to the podium and was very upset that they took out. Very upset that they took out Sunday voting. It was offensive to him. Right? Offensive to him. That he did not vote on Saturday. No, they didn't check to see if it's offensive to Catholics, or maybe some people that take Sunday, their religion serious on Sunday. Yours doesn't matter, but they're restoring Sunday voting in Georgia. They have one day. And it was set up so Fair Fight and all of the NAACP and the activists could get all the church, Reverend Warnock, okay, Ebenezer Baptist Church, they could get all the churches whipped up into a frenzy, and right after church, instead of predominantly for black churches, okay, they can whisk all the souls over and have them vote before they take them to the buffet for the afternoon, and then maybe some bingo later in the day or whatever. Yes, so Sunday voting has been restored in Georgia. Souls to the polls in the bill. So they're not going to deal with that. Now, yesterday, Brad Raffensperger, the Georgia Secretary of State, and we'll get into that in just a moment, he came out with a statement. All right, he came out with a statement. Give me number 12. Remember, night before last, he came out with a statement saying Georgia ran a historically secure, effective, and reliable election last year, and Dominion voting systems was a key part of that. Remember, I did a segment yesterday talking about how he was laying the groundwork to help Dominion in their lawsuit against Trump supporters, much like Mike Lindell and Rudy Giuliani and Linwood, and whether you like these people or not, Sidney Powell, President of the United States, Donald Trump, news networks that put out the false information. So we talked about that yesterday, and he had the webinar with them. There's some great information out on that. Yesterday in my segment, I said he also, by doing this, was laying the groundwork to attack HB 531 and SB 241. Okay? So play the... This came out yesterday, and it wasn't long after this came out, very shortly, that Brad Raffensperger, Georgia Secretary of State, put his defense statement out against this. Play Fair Fight. This is Stacey Abrams' Fair Fight. America, watch this. Play that video.
They tried to overturn an election.
We're gonna fight like hell.
Attacked our democracy. Pushing false conspiracies. And now, these Georgia Republicans want to make them happy, making it harder for Georgians to vote.
Vote by mail, in my view, is unacceptable.
They must be stopped. Tell your lawmaker to protect our right to vote. Fair Fight Action is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Okay, so Fair Fight has come out against HB 531 and SB 241, and as you can see, they're very upset over it. And, you know, I as I've always said, nothing I enjoy anymore is the day when a Republican thinks the media likes them. And if Brad Raffensperger, he is so stuck on which way to go. If he ever thought about becoming a Democrat, somebody asked me one day, do you think Brad Raffensperger will become a Democrat? Because he signed and he laid the groundwork and put the agreement together for the consent order back March of 2019 for the drop boxes and the Mark Zuckerberg money and the no excuse, anybody can have an absentee ballot. He put that disaster together, and Fair Fight and Stacey Abrams loved it, okay, as you well know. And somebody asked me the other day, said, do you think Brad Raffensperger will switch to a Democrat? Well, you just noticed right there. I tell people, no, Democrats don't get as excited. They love to see Republicans fall, but they don't get excited about when they switch party. There's only been one time, and let me go back in the memory vault here, and they even stabbed him in the back. Trust me, they stabbed him in the back before he died with cancer. And I'm going to tell you, there's only one time I remember Democrats actually excited about a Republican switching parties, and that was Darlin Arlen Specter of Pennsylvania. Because what did Darlin Arlen Specter of Pennsylvania do for Barack Hussein Obama? Gave him that 60. Democrats had 60. They had veto proof. They had the supermajority, what's called the supermajority in the Senate, and he brought that to them. And remember, if you remember, Democrats made Specter all kinds of deals that he would chair committees and all kinds of deals in the very minute this guy with cancer, which I never liked Arlen Specter anyway. He was never a Republican to me, much like a Mitt Romney of today and Brad Raffensperger in Georgia. But remember, they promised him all of these committee assignments and make a big deal out of him, and the guy died with cancer, right? And they stabbed him in the back as soon as he made the switch. So when asked, do you think Democrats, Raffensperger are going to become a Democrat? Answer is no. Democrats don't care. You see that yesterday in that. Well, I guess Brad Raffensperger is trying to say to Stacey Abrams and the Democrats, and I don't know what moderates out there, hey, wait a minute. I'm not the bad guy. So he tweeted out, this guy is about as dense, okay? I mean, I'd like to see right now, what I'd really like to see is a nice tweet on this guy. Give me number 2. Brad Raffensperger says yesterday, we are reviewing bills. Now, the reason I bring this up, because I know we have national viewers, and I'm not trying to bore you, but you're watching other people talk about, okay? All right, I see sensationalized shows, programs, where guys and gals, they get on there and they, you're hearing Georgia Senate just passed SB 67, okay? Absentee ballots, you must have an ID, okay? So SB 67, so if you're out there watching some of the big national shows, what I try to break down here is what is truly happening to these attempts to change election law. It's far from over. The battle is this week. That's the reason I'm so focused. This guy, it's such a disaster. It's despicable what he's doing, okay, with him doubling down and tripling down and quadrupling down on Dominion voting machines. Now he's totally, with this, he did not have to have that webinar yesterday. If he wanted to do a Dominion voting machine, a thank you lap, no, seriously, go back to that one just a minute, okay? Now think about it today, and some of you, I see some of your videos out there that you put up, and some of the national big names, and it's not, I don't have anything against them, and they're running very hot, sensationalized stories. Hey, just in, we heard SB 67. Now let me tell you what that really means. No. Don't get your knickers all whipped up into a frenzy. Now, I understand some of my job is to come here and they say, well, your job is to whip, your audience into a frenzy. What I'm trying to say, okay, is we've got a long way to go. So if you're out there paying attention to Georgia, give me number 12, all right? And I'm not going backwards on what we did yesterday. But yesterday on February 24th, okay, yesterday afternoon, I did not get a chance to watch. Yesterday afternoon, the state of Georgia, the Senate, was holding hearings on SB 241. A great piece of legislation. It's going the distance. I'm not thrilled, 100% thrilled with HB 531, especially with them, adding back in Sunday voting. But between these two bills, America, you still have your eyes on Georgia. What are we going to do to change this, try to fix the disaster that took place? As President Trump said, Georgia was a disaster. This is the week. Some of you are saying, well, I watched the show yesterday. You said this yesterday. You got nothing new. Yes, I got it. I just want to double down. This is the week that you need. I just showed you the video. Fair fight. They understand the big picture. We can't get caught with little sound bites, and we can't get caught with, people that are sensationalizing SB 67 and what's in the bills. We can't get caught in that. This week is it. Monday, everything has to come out of committee Monday to cross over for these laws to be passed. And then we have to have a governor to sign them. And then the day they are signed, we have to be prepared because you see fair fight in them. They're ready to go to court. This guy is laying the groundwork for Stacey Abrams in court. That's why I'm so redundant. Stay focused on what the hell is happening here. Stacey Abrams is so... They don't like Brad Raffensperger. And I don't know who... When Brad drove to work this morning, I don't know, outside of his wife and the possibility of his dog, and I guess he has children, all right? So I don't want to get too personal. But outside of his wife and his dog, I don't know who this guy thinks likes him. Really, I don't. The Democrats don't like him. They showed that in that video they put out yesterday. He probably ran right into his office and just cried tears like, hey, I'm on your side, and why are you doing that to me in an ad? Don't lump me in with David Ralston. Don't lump me in with anybody else. I'm on your side. Sorry, Brad. We never help a Republican. And he's not really Republican. So yesterday, he holds a webinar with Dominion Voting Systems. I told you yesterday, watch. He is trying to help Fair Fight and Stacey Abrams take down HB 531 and SB 241. Now, go back over, because we gotta get out of this, to number 1. This is his statement. This is his statement, okay? After he's in his office and he sees probably the Fair Fight video with his name in there, he puts out, we are reviewing bills. Once we see something that prioritizes the security and accessibility of the elections, we'll throw in support. Wait a minute. Yes, we'll throw in support. Accessibility. Wow. At the end of the day, many of these bills are reactionary to a 3-month disinformation campaign that could have been prevented. At the end of the day, many of these bills are reactionary to a 3-month disinformation campaign that could have been prevented. So see, SB 67 to him is reactionary. Absentee ballots requiring identification, reactionary. 531, reactionary. SB 241, reactionary. He's laying the groundwork for the attorney to go into the court and say, Your Honor, the Secretary of State here even says it's a disinformation campaign and these bills were just reactionary. This guy has laid out everything. Let me just wrap up with what I have, because like I said, I don't know who likes Brad. Give me number 2. This is a tweet he put out. Okay. Could have been prevented. This is a tweet he put out. This guy made a deal with the Democrats in November. In March. Made a deal with Democrats in March. Okay. This guy is who hit the Secretary of State's office, along with Jordan Fuchs, the Assistant Secretary of State, along with, Gabriel Sterling, at that time worked for the Secretary of State. They made a deal with Dominion to bring those machines in and purchase those machines using your money. After that, this guy took Gabriel Sterling and made him a subcontractor to implement the machines. We have no way of tracking if Gabriel Sterling, his LLC, took any other money outside of what he received from the Secretary of State's office to implement the voting machines. After the election was over, this guy stabbed the President of the United States in the back, stabbed Donald Trump in the back by recording a phone call. Maybe he did not, quote, himself record the call. He says he wasn't aware the call was being recorded, but somebody recorded that call that he gave permission to be on the line, and then said somebody released it to the Washington Post. And then this man's phone call made it into the articles of impeachment against the President of the United States. This man has backed Dominion all the way. This guy is a total disaster in this state. Now, as you out there are saying, what are we doing on election integrity laws, absentee ballots, drop boxes, mobile voting precincts? The list goes on and on and on. What does he say? At the end of the day, many of these bills are reactionary to a 3-month disinformation campaign that could have been prevented. Play fair fight one more time so I can show you whose side he is on. Stacey Abrams.
They tried to overturn an election.
We're gonna fight like hell.
Attacked our democracy. Pushing false conspiracies. And now, these Georgia Republicans want to make them happy, making it harder for Georgians to vote.
Vote by mail, in my view, is unacceptable.
They must be stopped. Tell your lawmaker to protect our right to vote. Verified Action is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Yes, sir. You talk about taking that, making it, you have to have an excuse for an absentee ballot, taking those drop boxes away, taking those voting mobile precincts away, making it where you have to have poll watchers. You take adjusting all of those items, and maybe he doesn't like number 8. Maybe this has upset him because, no, not that. I'm sorry. I apologize. That may have upset him too. That may have upset our viewers. But this may, in the SB 241, number 8 requires that the Secretary of State not move into any consent agreements without the consent of both chambers of the General Assembly. Wonder if that upset him, okay, in SB 241, requiring the Secretary of State not to be able to enter into any consent agreements without the consent of both chambers. Wonder if. Yesterday there was a webinar with Dominion. There's some great information on a website that was put out. I read this morning. I cannot actually, when I try to convey that to you, I don't do a very good job with it. But if you look up, if you'll just Google Brad Raffensperger, Secretary of State of Georgia, webinar with Dominion, you will find what I'm talking about. You can read it there and you'll get an understanding. We're going to take a break. Give me number, go ahead and give me number 4. Let me see, wait a minute, I don't know. Yeah, this is interesting. Give me number 14. This came out yesterday at 6:12 p.m. 6:12 p.m. U.S. lawmakers should pass the Equality Act, and give the LGBTQ Americans overdue protections. This came out at 6:12 last night. We're going to talk about that when we return. Take us to break.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Circuit World has 9-piece living room packages at incredible prices. Get this stylish sofa and love seat, 3 tables, 2 lamps, 43-inch 4K TV, and stand, all for only $1699.99 or $129.99 a month. Or get this 9-piece living room and reclining sofa and reclining love seat, now only $1999.99 or $149.99 a month. These packages are amazing. Stop in today at one of our 5 locations and get the furniture you've always wanted at Circuit World.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Ace is your healthful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
Hey folks, we're back. I am BKP. You're watching BKP Politics here on FYNTV.com. Let me just say this. Why am I have people send me a message. They say, when you're in Studio A, that always means something, and I'll tell you what it means today. The state of North Carolina, keep in mind, although North Carolina did vote for Donald Trump, along with other states we feel did, but they have a Democrat governor over there, Roy Cooper, in North Carolina. So North Carolina did not play high school football at the same time Georgia played high school football, and many others across the country played high school football. The state of North Carolina moved high school football to start in February, late February. So tonight is the first game for high school football in North Carolina. Now, the other thing is, here's the good news. The state of North Carolina met yesterday and agreed to 30% capacity. So they can only have 30% of their stadiums full. So FYNTV.com is broadcasting high school football in North Carolina, and they have to pack equipment. The department that has FYNTV.com has to pack equipment. So I am helping pack equipment for that. So anyhow, that being said, oh, that's funny. I got a different text. That's funny. But anyhow, so that's why I'm in Studio A. A couple quick things here. Hey, last night the state of Pennsylvania Republican Party got together via Zoom, do a Zoom do. Every time I see Zoom, does anybody remember do a Zoom do? Do you remember Pig Latin? Okay. Oh, forget it. If your kids, you don't know what Zoom is. Now Zoom's a meeting, okay? But anyhow, they got together, the Pennsylvania Republican Party got together via Zoom to discuss censuring Pat Toomey, the state party, Republican Party in Pennsylvania, okay? And my understanding, after a 5-hour meeting, the one county, Northampton Republican Committee, censured Pat Toomey, which upset him. The state party had a meeting, and everybody across the state, I guess all the county GOP chairs were on the Zoom meeting, and they had a debate and a hearing, supposedly. And my understanding is even Senator Pat Toomey was on the hearing to censure him. And at the end of 5-hour meeting, everybody was told on the Zoom meeting that they could not get the votes calculated. So I guess they're trying to steal another election in PA. I don't know. So we'll have to hold and wait to see if the state of Pennsylvania is going to censure Pat Toomey. And then we'll have to find out if the true vote to censure him is, if we ever get the truth of how the vote turned out for the Pennsylvania Republican Party. I'll tell you what, it's something else. Those establishment Republicans. So today, give me this. Remember when we were just dysfunctional? I'm serious. You remember when we found out we were just dysfunctional? Remember the good old days when you were just part of a dysfunctional family? Now it's just crazy as hell. I mean, I'm serious, crazy. So this is happening. Not according to MSNBC, CNN. You would think they would be very proud of this, but they suppress this kind of news because they don't need to talk about it. They don't need it out there, and they don't need the other 95%. Now, according to the polling data, okay, number 8, give me number 8. There's been an increase, okay? There's a new record of estimated 18 million Americans identifying as LGBTQ, queer. I think there should be an F on the end, okay? F for flamers. I just think so. I've always said, hey, there's flamers out there. I know. You're upset by that. So Gallup finds increase of 60% between 2012 and 2020 of adults who identify as LGBTQ in reflection to the way society is changing. Okay? So it's interesting, a Gallup poll is out. 2012. Who got elected in 2012? Who was 2008, 2012? So Gallup poll is out here, number 9. Number 9. Americans are identifying as LGBTQ more than ever, poll finds. 1 in 6 members of the Generation Z identify as something other than heterosexual. Just saying. They're identifying as something other than heterosexual. Wonder how that happened. Could it have been in our schools? Now, wait a minute. Could it be that children today... Go look this up, because this is where I get, attacked. How about asking your 6th grader if they know what pansexuality is? Everybody in school. Now, if you go over to your school and say, are you teaching my child this? Well, absolutely not. You can't find it in our curriculum anywhere. Right? That's what they'll say. But for some reason, if you get together with some of the teenagers and talk to them, they'll tell you very clearly what pansexuality is. Pansexuality is sexual, romantic, or emotional attraction towards people regardless of their sex or gender identity. Pansexual people may refer to themselves as gender blind, asserting that gender and sex are not determining factors of their romantic or sexual attraction to others. Let me tell you something, that's just damn crazy. That's crazy as hell what we've let happen to our kids. Yes, this is true. Now, they're going to pass... This is in your schools. Now save that one right there, okay? And number 15. There's a hearing today for a man who thinks he's a woman to be HHS, assisting HHS secretary. Yes. I didn't say it. And ask your kids. Give me number 9 back there again. And let me just go over the new poll here from The Guardian. Okay. New record as estimated 18 million Americans, I told you that, identify as LGBTQ. Polling released Wednesday. Why was it released Wednesday? Maybe because Thursday is when the vote is coming in the House for the House Equality Bill. I mean, we get set up on every damn thing in this country, okay? Polling released Wednesday confirmed that more Americans than ever before identify as lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, or just downright queer. I threw the just downright queer or queer. The number of don't you remember when just people were queer? I mean, I don't know. It was like a different time. You know, we were dysfunctional and somebody was queer. Why oh my God. The number of Americans who self-identify this way increased by 60% between 2012 and 2020 in the Gallup poll. Researchers say the findings are partly due to an emerging generation of young people who have chosen to live openly with an identity other than heterosexual. Now, why did that happen? Why have they decided to live more openly? Because mom and dad said, we want to let Junior make decisions for themselves. We like to rationalize. See, we went to that whole damn time frame, generation of thinking that we should rationalize with kids. I swear to God, you think I've lost my mind? This comes right out of No Child Left Behind. We rationalize with the children. Everybody gets a trophy. Everybody gets a pat on the head. We take the red pens away. You can't get an F anymore with a red pen, or teachers can't pencil with a red pen. I mean, all of these things, coddling our children, this is a direct result. Look, did schools have a class on this? Maybe not. But let me tell you, there's something going on. Something going on in them damn schools you're sending your kids to, because now your damn kids think they're queer. No, I'm serious. They don't know that. Where the hell they know that from? Where are they getting that crap from? Right? They're getting it from home. Or maybe once they climb on the school bus and jump off on the other side. Okay? Just saying. Just saying. It reflects that we are seeing in a society and the way society is changing. Gallup senior editor Jeff Jones said later, telling NBC News, the younger people are growing up in an environment where being gay, lesbian, or bisexual is not taboo as it was in the past. Taboo? According to a new survey data, a record 5.6% of American adults, an estimated 18 million, identify as LGBTQ, up from 4.5 in the organization's last polling in 2017. So 17, 18, 19, wow, up almost over 1%. Let me tell you something. First of all, let's stop there. If 5.6% of Americans identify as something else, and damn, I agree, it's something else, all right, and they identify as something else other than a gender boy, girl, okay, why still yet? Let's just call it 5%, okay? Let's just say 5%. Why is 95% of a country, 95% of the people, allowing 5% to make all the rules? Right? Military, equity, okay, equality, equity, military, transportation. It don't matter what it is. Every nominee that has come forward in their confirmation hearing is all excited about equity in America, right? Why are we letting 5%, if that's the number, run 95% of Americans? Why are we not standing up? Researchers were able to gain more insight from respondents about their precise sexual orientations this year by allowing for more than simple yes or no responses on whether someone identified as LGBTQ LGBTQ in the past survey. Polling determined the group leading the growth in LGBTQ identity are members of the Generation Z. Wonder why the hell, oh, they must have learned that in college, huh? Just say it. I mean, while our children in college, let's see, are those aged 18 to 23. About 1 in 6, or 15.9%, identified as LGBTQ, pansexual, all right? Identification gradually declined with each older generation. Just 2% or less of Americans born in 1965 identified that way. So, while they're off at college getting a worthless degree, worthless, I mean, just taking the most worthless degree that has no value in the workplace in America, but it is an institution of higher learning, and it is somewhere where you could party and, be queer if you want to, right? And then we've got to pay your damn bill for college? You get college for free? So we sent you to college. You go to college, you want it for free, and you want to come out. Anyway, that's what we're paying for, America. Across the age groups, researchers found some notable trends, including that more than 70% of respondents who identified as LGBTQ defined themselves as bisexual, pansexual. Not only were women far more likely than men, than their male counterparts, over 6.4% versus 4.9%, they were also more likely to consider themselves bisexual across the age group. Of everyone surveyed who identified as LGBTQ, 54.6% identified as bisexual, 24.4% as gay, 11.7% as lesbians, 11.3% as transgenders, and more than 3% said they use another term describe their identity, such as queer or pansexual. Damn queers. Damn queers or pansexuals. I don't see any. No wonder SpongeBob was so famous with them damn kids. And Patrick. SpongeBob and Patrick. That's who they identified as. Who do you think you are? SpongeBob. Who do you think you are? Patrick. Tell you why. Patrick got it all going on. Excuse me. So once again, let me show you this, This is number 15. This is a man who thinks he is a woman, period. And then we have, give me number 9, And all of this is, they don't want to talk about it because 5% is running the whole damn country, And these kids and free college, and I had it here just a minute ago. Today, the Equality Act with protections for LGBTQ Americans is up for vote in the House. What is it? The House on Thursday, that would be today, that's why this was put out yesterday. The House on Thursday is set to pass sweeping legislation prohibiting discrimination on the basis of sex, sexuality, orientation, and gender identity, though it faces uncertainty in the Senate. The Equality Act would amend existing federal civil rights laws to extend protection for the LGBTQ Americans in what Democratic lawmakers and advocates say would make significant progress towards legal protections for all Americans. Thank you, Joe Biden. Okay. In many ways, the coming vote showed how Congress was catching up to the rest of the country on the LGBT rights, he said. That's David Cicilline from Rhode Island. Okay. Citing shifts in public opinion in support for anti-discrimination legislation. Okay. It's way overdue. So it's on the floor for a vote today. Yes. It's on the floor for a vote. It's being hidden under Liz Cheney. We'll play that. But the media wants you to hear what Liz Cheney said, that Donald Trump should not be at CPAC. Okay, I get it. I watch what they do in the morning, and I say, every morning when I get up and I go at 4 a.m. and I start seeing what is MSNBC, what narrative are they trying to run today, then I say, ooh, I got to start looking underneath that to see why they're not talking about certain things. What else could they be hiding today? Do you know who this lady is, number 7? We'll talk about that when we get back. I'm your host, BKP. You're watching BKP Politics on FYNTV.com. Okay, welcome. Hey, if you're queer, watch the show. Hell, I don't care if you're one of the 5.6. Tune in. Tell your friends. All are welcome. Take a break.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Circuit World has 9-piece living room packages at incredible prices. Get this stylish sofa and love seat, 3 tables, 2 lamps, 43-inch 4K TV, and stand, all for only $1699.99 or $129.99 a month. Or get this 9-piece living room and reclining sofa and reclining love seat, now only $1999.99 or $149.99 a month. These packages are amazing. Stop in today at one of our 5 locations and get the furniture you've always wanted at Circuit World.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Ace is your healthful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge, we have your new house in stock.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Circuit World has complete queen bedroom packages at amazing prices. Get this queen bed, dresser and mirror, 1 nightstand, bedding set, and free 32-inch TV, all for only $1799.99 or $129.99 a month. Or get this complete queen bedroom set and sleep in style, also for only $1799.99 or $129.99 a month. What an incredible deal! Stop in today at one of our 5 locations and get the furniture you've always wanted at Circuit World.
North Georgia is truck country, and nobody discounts Chevy trucks like Days Chevrolet in Jasper. Now save $8,000 off new Silverado crew cabs, or save $5,700 on the all-new body-style Equinox. Every Chevy truck and SUV discounted big. See Days Chevrolet in Jasper, the low-price leader in truck country. Days Chevrolet, Days gets it done. Find new roads.
Folks, we are back. I am your host, BKP. You're watching BKP Politics on FYNTV.com. Now, I want to give a quick shout out to our good friend, D.A. King. Now, we're working with D.A. He did an amazing job the last 2 days, taking us to the 3rd hour. Now, today, because of FYNTV and having to help get equipment together, we're only going to 10 o'clock today. But we are going to talk to D8 about some more segments between 10 and 11 in the future. He did a great job. Thank you very much. If you did not get a chance to watch those, you could go on Voice of Rural America, our YouTube channel. You go to FYN TV, they're on there, or you can go to Voice of Rural America, our YouTube channel. We have a playlist called D.A. King right on there, and you could watch the last 2 days. And D.A., my good friend, you will be smooth one day, and it's coming along. Not this smooth, but smooth. Okay, so thank you very much. Bingo! Somebody won the prize. Okay, and I'm going to put this up, and I'm not doing a long segment, but I wanted to see who's the first to tell me. I said 3 times. 3 times. Okay. Give me number 7. I said, who is this? And finally, I got a text. That's Cuomo's worst nightmare. Bingo! You win. You win the prize. I don't know what it is, but bingo, that's Cuomo's worst nightmare. You will not find this story. Number 6, Chris Cuomo. That's would-be brother. It's a Cuomo affair, a.k.a. Fredo. Remember, he was called Fredo and he freaked out. Very freaked out on the guy. This is Chris Fredo. Chris Cuomo Fredo on CNN. His brother Andrew Cuomo has been accused of sexual harassment by the young lady I just put on the screen. Chris fails even to mention explosive sexual harassment claims against Governor brother Andrew, as so does ABC, CBS, NBC, and MSNBC also joined the cover-up. So remember when you had to believe everybody, Democrats, if you remember when you had to believe anybody? Remember Brett Kavanaugh? You had to just believe it. Michael Avenatti comes out there and says Kavanaugh was having gangbangs in college with all these broads and we got witnesses. Oh, we've got to stop everything and investigate. Send the FBI now. Right? But in the case of Andrew, we will just let that slide. So thank you very much to our winner this morning of who is, I think I'll start doing that. Who is this? But go back to number 7, and that would be, I think her name is on there. Her name is Lindsay, is that Boylan? That is Andrew Cuomo's worst nightmare, according to our viewer. Okay, take that away. Now, I wanted to show you, and I'm not going to go back, because the reason it really bothers me is because I know some lawmakers, not all, but some lawmakers are working very hard down at the Capitol listening to you on HB 531 and SB 241 at the Georgia State Capitol. And I know so many of you around the nation. I think State Senator Steve Gooch in a meeting a week ago said he has never received more emails and phone calls, and they are national. You're out there calling Georgia lawmakers all across the country. Yes, you're doing it. So they're down there working very hard. Some of them trying to correct the disaster is in Georgia, as President Donald Trump mentioned. And here is the headline from The Hill. Georgia's Secretary of State withholds support for reactionary GOP voting. See, that blew up immediately everywhere. That was yesterday at 7 o'clock last night. 7 o'clock last night. And what happened was Raffensperger, he got a little glimpse of the fair fight video. He was like, well, I thought you guys liked me. All right. But Georgia's Secretary of State withholds support for reactionary GOP. All right. And I wanted to show you one more. And from U.S. News and World Report, that was from The Hill. I want to give a shout out to Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene. Give me number 39, okay? And, I know many of you, there's things that Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene says that maybe you agree with, don't agree with, whatever the case may be. But in this, I just sent you that. I'm sorry, Emily, number 39. It's a new picture. But, I guess outside of their office in Congress, people decorate the outside wall. And I guess somebody across from her, a member of Congress across from her, put a unity flag or something like that. So Marjorie Taylor Greene puts up, there are two genders, male and female, trust the science. Okay, that's outside her office door. So she can be a little controversial. That Marjorie Taylor Greene can be a little controversial. There you go. So, another one we want to go over this morning very quickly. Look, I'm going to say this. Let's go over before we get to the sensationalized Liz Cheney CPAC that they're all running today. Let me say this, okay? Number 17, if this was reported different. Now, I am not Kramer and this is not Mad Money. You might call me mad, but this is not Mad Money and I'm not Kramer and I'm not, obviously I'm not Marie Bartiromo, okay? But, and I sure as hell am not Neil Cavuto. But anyhow, this is not Fox Business and, or CNBC or whatever, Business Network and, Kramer and Mad Money. But, all right, folks, let me say this. I know enough about it, and people will laugh and scoff at my level of knowledge here, but I know enough about that I understand the Federal Reserve, which has nothing to do with federal at all. They allow so much money into circulation, all right? Now, they'll pull back cash out of the circulation and inject cash into the circulation, okay? And I know enough about that. And we are dumping more cash into the circulation right now. Now, they won't talk about it. Janet Yellen will not talk about it. And what's the guy's name? The head, Jerome Powell, right? Is that his name? He's the head of the... I have nothing in front of me. I always say that because I just roll with memory. And Jerome Powell is the chair of the Fed. And Janet Yellen, who used to be chair of the Fed, right, is now Secretary of the Treasury. So, they always make sure the Secretary of Treasury can steal directly straight from the Fed. The Fed can steal from the Treasury, at any time. So, in quantitative easing, so on and so forth. You are still trying to print. They can't print the money fast enough. And this is not a joke. And they can't sell the debt because we finance the debt every time. When you okay, let me say this. You call me dumb. In fact, text me and tell me if I'm even on the right track close. But when you pass a $1.9 trillion stimulus bill, do you realize the CARES Act, the original CARES Act that we passed last year, is not completely spent? That cash has not even gotten down the streets yet. It was like a street sweeper sweeping up cash. That cash is not all out. When they pass one of these behemoths, they have to finance the debt. Okay? They have to sell the debt. They're selling our debt. They're taking your money. They're selling you. And they're going further into debt. And they have to I've always said, the American taxpayer, you are the collateral. I don't know if you get into that, but you are the collateral. And they borrow against you. Yes, our federal government borrows against you, the taxpayer. You are the collateral. And when they pass these behemoths, they have to, and I'm not joking, they have to sell that. And only as they can sell that debt to the world or whoever's buying our debt, can they then print. And I say jokingly, somebody runs in and says, okay, we got another order for $182 million. and they start printing it out and sending it to different areas. Now that's not exactly, but it's pretty close. It's like a real I've simplified it, I might say. But that's what happens. There's still money sitting that they pass. So when they pass these behemoths, they've got to finance them. Yes, they do. They got to get backing. I mean, you can have a corporation right now and you can have a meeting of your board and you can agree. You can go and agree right now on we're going to pass a $329,000 budget. Okay, we only brought in $182,000 last year. Yeah, and we're going to put $63,000 into a fund, into this line item. You could do that all day long and pass budgets and things, but if it's not there, it's not there. That's what they're doing. Please understand, when we pass a $1.9 trillion package, it's not like not $1.9 trillion is sitting in a bank vault and you run over and take a withdrawal slip for 1.9 and start sending it out. What you're doing is you're approving to sell debt. You're approving to sell another $1.9 trillion of debt to print money that's coming from nowhere that you are the collateral to start shoveling out to the blue states to bail out teachers' pensions, public pensions, to bail out unions, whatever it may be. It's not to help Americans. You get $1,400 check. Okay? So, my concern, and you should look this up, when you see 76% support President Biden's $1.9 trillion stimulus, now sadly today, we have the highest percentage of young people and people in the United States that have a degree of higher learning. And they don't understand the simple fact that $1.9 trillion is not sitting in a vault. Seriously, I mean, you want to give free college to kids with worthless degrees that do not understand what I just said. Seriously. So when you hear 76% of people support President Biden's $1.9 trillion, folks, hyperinflation is around the corner, and it's possible if you watch and read and look it up. Let me show you this. Number 18. When we dictate how the system works, the free market system, when you start dictating how it works. Now for me, I don't know. Hang on. Okay? I don't have time to go into this, but I want to be very clear. If you totally and completely, 100% end corporate welfare, okay? If you end corporate welfare, okay, 100%, completely take bogus corporate super PAC, all the dirty, dark money out of politics, all of it, okay? That's 2. Let's see, corporate welfare, if you end that, okay, completely, all right? And you become a true capitalist society, you will never have to put in place, the government will never have to dictate wages again to the American people. I, for one, do not believe, and if we withdraw this, I do not believe in any minimum wage whatsoever, because they say $15. But I will say this, if If we completely became a true capitalist country, people would make, the market would dictate more than $15 an hour for somebody to go to work. $15 an hour, and let me get clear, because this is not an argument. $15 an hour is not what bankrupted this country, paying somebody $15 an hour. Dictating it through the government is what's happening here. I'm serious. If you get complete, so if you pass a $1.9 trillion package, okay, and then another 3-point-something trillion next, right behind that, and we start selling that debt, because we are now. You have not sold all the debt and printed all the money from the CARES Act. There's money in those funds still, or it's there to be approved as fast as they can sell it to get it out, okay? So let me just say, if you get another 1.9 and you add, my thought is, because I said this is not a business network, but interest rates, hyperinflation, you dictate $15 an hour, you keep printing at this rate, you'll make Jimmy Carter look good, I think. That's a scary thought. There's a possibility you make Jimmy Carter look good. There's absolutely no way with that amount of money in circulation, because the feds, what they do, Bernanke, remember Bernanke from the school of the Great Depression, right? Remember Bernanke? And remember Alan Greenspan? I mean, they would sit there, right or wrong or indifferent, as I would say, and they would do the calculations of how much cash flow was out there, how much they had to pull in, how they had to slow and cool the economy off. I'm just telling you. So, that being said, 1.9, we cannot, all right? Let me show you a couple things here this morning. I think I have it. It said 70%. I don't know if I have any of the data here. I thought I did, but let's see if I have some on that poll that they put out earlier today when they say 70% agree with that, and I take it that I may not. So that being said, where was it at there? I had it here earlier. Number 17. 76% support President Biden's $1.9 trillion. No, they don't, folks. They do not support that. And they say 60% of Republicans, I think the poll says 60% of Republicans support Biden's plan. No. We should not pass another dime of any kind of relief stimulus whatsoever. So that being said, we're going to take one more break because I want to come back. I do want to talk about Liz Cheney, and I want to talk about Jim Jordan and the post office. And I got a couple more stories I want to cover before we close today. Oh, by the way, Khashoggi's back in the news. Take a break.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Circuit World has 9-piece living room packages at incredible prices. Get this stylish sofa and love seat, 3 tables, 2 lamps, 43-inch 4K TV, and stand, all for only $1699.99 or $129.99 a month. Or get this 9-piece living room and reclining sofa and reclining love seat, now only $1999.99 or $149.99 a month. These packages are amazing. Stop in today at one of our 5 locations and get the furniture you've always wanted at Circuit World.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Ace is your healthful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
Hey folks, we're back. Thank you for, hey, I like that right in the window. I like that. Way to go, Emily. Quick programming note. I am your host, BKP. You're watching BKP Politics on FYNTV.com. A little programming note that we now have a YouTube channel. So our YouTube channel is Voice of Rural America over there on YouTube. So that's it right there. So thank you, Emily, for putting that up. Now, okay, what do we have to read? And again, I want to thank D.A. King for the last 2 days, taking us to 11. We're just going to 10 today because we have some other work we have to get done. And I thought, let me see, do I have this? I must have missed a lot of my pictures today, Emily. A lot of my pictures I forgot to crop and send, or I put them somewhere. I put them somewhere else or something. I don't know where I put them. All right, that being said, I don't have a picture for it, but let's see. Nope, I thought I cropped the picture and put it up. If I keep saying it, it won't be true. But on the AJC, former CBS 46 anchor Sharon Reed joins morning show for Black News Channel with Mike Hill. And I just thought when I read that, so I go through about 40. Oh, by the way, let me just say this. Okay, so about 1 a.m., there was the worst crying. It was like crying outside my front door last night, like 1 o'clock in the morning, okay? I mean, and it sounded like a baby crying. It really did. It sounded like, I mean, it woke me up like, what is that? It's like a baby's crying outside. And I'm thinking that is one of two things, Emily. A bobcat or a Democrat. And there was a chance, you know, that's my joke. That's a true story. Bobcats sound like a baby crying. Seriously. So I really think a bobcat was out there last night. But yeah, it could have been a bobcat or a Democrat crying. One or two things. Anyhow, so I go through about 40 websites in the morning, and that's not a joke. And you people send me stuff. In fact, I'm waiting on a damn update on that PA censoring Toomey if it's out there anywhere. I don't have anything yet. I'd like to see Pat Toomey. I'd like to get an update on that. But so as I'm going through these articles, I see former CBS anchor 46 Sharon Reed joins morning show for Black News Channel with Mike Hill. Now, I thought I was up on a little. I didn't know there was a Black News Channel. Did you? Oh, it doesn't start till Monday, March 1st. I'm not behind, as usual. I am right out in front of things. Former CBS 46 anchor Sharon Reed has joined the Jacksonville, Florida-based Black News Channel for the new morning show starting Monday, March 1st. She will co-host the show with sports broadcaster Mike Hill, who recently married Real Housewives from Atlanta cast member Cynthia Bailey, blah, blah, blah. But the all-black news channel. Why can't we have what if we had the all-white news channel? I'm just saying. I don't know. I mean, I just see things like this, and I think to myself, really? All right, so that being said, yesterday we had, and I know you want your Liz Cheney fix of the day, so we'll give it to you. Give it to you. This one is, now I sent you two. Get not Liz 1, Liz 2. Set up Liz 2. It's a better video. So we're not going to use the one that says Liz won. So yesterday, McCarthy was asked about, CPAC, President Trump attending and speaking at CPAC, okay? And number 10, Liz Cheney there, as you can see. You know, they asked her, let's see, where's it at? Give me number, okay, there she is. Cheney calls, right, on GOP not to be the party of white supremacy. Remember we've talked about that. And then give me number 18, okay? There's another little quick pick. Oh, no, that wasn't it. That's minimum wage. Oh, here it is, number 20. I'm sorry. Give me number 20. House GOP leaders split over Trump on full display. That's up to CPAC. I've been clear on my views about President Trump. Okay, give me number 22. Reporter asks Kevin McCarthy, do you think Trump should be able to speak at CPAC? And then she says, Congresswoman Cheney, what about you? So let's play Liz number 2 there from the time I have picked out for the audience.
Yeah, like our kids learn in school, like virtual learning.
Briefly, for you and the leadership, especially Congresswoman Cheney, do you believe President Trump should be speaking, or former President?
What's rice does?
Whoa! Accidentally got rice.
Speaking at CPAC this weekend?
Yes, he should.
Congresswoman Cheney?
That's up to CPAC. I've been clear in my views about President Trump and the extent to which following January 6th, I don't believe that he should be playing a role in the future of the party or the country.
On that high note, thank you all very much.
So the media love that. They're playing it all morning long. Liz Cheney, our friends in Wyoming have the Republican Party. They have censured her. We do await. There are primary challengers there against her. We do await those primary challengers. See if we can't get some of them on the show. Get in touch with our friends out there in Wyoming. But Liz Cheney there, letting you know how she feels about President Donald Trump. You know, we had the reason I want to play that because the media is sensationalizing it. And when you say back home, all right, these lawmakers go to D.C. back home. And you out there, the audience, you remember Joey Corrente. Joey is the GOP chair, Carbon County, Republican Party in Wyoming, who wrote the original language to censure Liz Cheney that went all around the state, was adopted by other county GOP at GOP meetings there in the state, and then made it to the state meeting where they censured Liz Cheney. She doesn't care. She doesn't care what her party thinks. She doesn't care what her constituents think. She doesn't care about back home. She keeps doubling down. It's not like when they censured her, she said, okay, I better take in consideration where I'm from, where I represent. But no, she doesn't care at all. They don't care. Now, there's a Jim Jordan, and it's 5 minutes, and I want to play it. I'm running out of time, but I want to play it for a simple reason. I really enjoyed it yesterday because Jordan, and you got to play all 5 minutes because this is a committee hearing, all right? This is a committee hearing about the post office. The post office. So let's play, I think I named it Jim Jordan. I think I did. If I did, let's play that. It's 5 minutes long.
Did you have any protesters at your house last night?
Not last night.
President Biden called for you to resign, Mr. DeJoy?
No, the president has not called for me to resign.
Any member of your board called for you to resign?
No, sir.
None of the Democrats and Republicans on the board haven't called. Any of the Democrats called for it?
We have It's hard to tell in our board meetings because we all very much act in a bipartisan manner focused on postal issues. But there are two gentlemen that, the chair identified that he's a registered Democrat, and I think there's another gentleman on the board.
Mr. Bloom's a Democrat, right? He supports
he's a
you.
Democrat. Yep.
Is the chair of this committee, has she called for you to resign this Congress?
She has not.
She called for you to be suspended last Congress, but I don't think she's called for you to resign this Congress, has she?
We've had good conversations on a variety.
Now, I know where Mr. Connolly's at and some of the Democrats, but I mean, last time you were here, you had protesters banging on pots and pans outside your house. You had 90-some people calling for you to resign. You were the worst guy on the planet last time you were here. I just want to know what's changed.
Maybe that's not for me to answer.
I mean, they were so ticked last time, Mr. DeJoy. They passed a bill. They called us in on a Saturday in August to pass a bill, and then they had a hearing on the bill they passed 2 days later. You remember that?
Sir, it was an unfortunate set of circumstances for me, for my family, for the postal employees, for the postal board. None of it was based in any type of fact. It was sensationalization. But we're through. I'm through that. The board's through that. We're just trying to get our plan, get this legislation passed, and get on with the improvements we need to make.
They passed a bill on Saturday, August 22nd, a bill they know had no chance of becoming law, a bill that was not even taken up in the Senate. Then they had a hearing on the bill they already passed 2 days later. Normally, you do it the other way around. Normally, you actually have a committee get together, look at the legislation, debate it, discuss it, have witnesses, get expert testimony, all that stuff, and then you maybe pass it out of committee and go to the floor and do it. They called us in special to pass a bill on a Saturday and then had a hearing on Monday, and all that weekend they had protesters at your house disrupting your family and, frankly, your neighbors as well. And now you're telling me you got no one on the Board of Governors asking you to resign, no protesters at your house, the President hasn't asked you to resign, the Chairwoman hasn't asked you to resign, and I want to know what's happened. What's different between February 24th, 2021 and August 24th, 2020? What happened in those 6 months? What could explain the Democrats' difference in attitude?
Mr. George, Congressman, I don't want to participate.
What do you mean you don't want to participate? I'm asking you a question, a simple question.
I believe
Can you hazard a guess as what might have happened between August 24th, 2020,
I am hoping,
when they passed a bill and then had a hearing on it? What may have happened between August 24th, 2020 and February 24th, 2021? What could have happened in the interim there that would change the attitude of Democrats?
one of two things. Either everyone's anxious to hear our new strategic plan, or we had an election.
I'm sure that's it. I'm sure that's it. Still waiting for an answer. I did this to you when you were here last time, Mr. DeJoy. I asked you, to comment on something. You wouldn't do it then either. What happened between August and February? What important event happened?
We had an election.
We had an election. It was all a charade. You not take my word for it. The Wall Street Journal called it a giant conspiracy theory. Called us back in. It was all part of the predicate for laying the groundwork for the mail-in balloting and all the chaos and confusion the Democrats wanted, and the laws that I think they passed in so many states, frankly, in an unconstitutional fashion. It was all about politics. It was all about the election. Agree with that, Mr. DeJoy?
It was a very sensitive time for the nation, and there was a lot of activity.
They accused you of things that they said you were restricting overtime. False. They told you, you were taking the collection boxes, doing something that had never been done before, even though it had been done by every previous Postmaster General. 12,000 of them had been moved by the Obama administration Postmaster General, but somehow you were the worst. Again, all under the guise of creating this crazy chaos that they wanted around the election relative to mail-in balloting, and you were the guy they used to launch it all, to start it all in the summer, when everyone was calling, saying all kinds of, like I said, they had you as the worst guy on the planet back then, and now everything, it seems to be so much better now.
Folks, what happened? An election. I know that was quite lengthy. An election took place. An election. Now let me ask you a question. You talk about ballot drop boxes. First of all, our U.S. mail system. Now, there was a time when I lived in a metropolitan area and I found a mailbox to drop something. Okay? Are these mailboxes really necessary anymore? Are these bulk mailboxes necessary? These ballot harvesting boxes, are they really necessary? Because see, on those drop ballot harvesting boxes that say U.S. mail on them, okay, there is no required video surveillance. There's no required chain of custody. They just pick up the mail and they go back and sort it and try to get it on trucks and get it to somewhere. I mean, vote by mail is laced with so much fraud. Vote by mail is so fraudulent. I know you're going to get ready to tell me about Washington State, Colorado, but I'm just telling you that's one. Now, yesterday, Fanning the Flames, and it's a three-hour hearing yesterday called Fanning the Flames to talk about disinformation. Now, what's the time I put on that? Let's see, I have it here. I sent it to you. Called Fanning the Flames. Now, the reason I want to play this individual on here, Adam Kinzinger from Illinois. We played yesterday his opponent, and I have it down, Emily Fanning the Flames, and start that one at 136.58. I think that's what I have it at. So go ahead and start that one for a minute.
For 5 minutes. Adam, you're up.
Hey, thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thanks everybody for being here. You know, one of the interesting, when we talk about truth, I mean, I think, you know, when you think back to COVID, I've had people that have sent me, well, how come there's 500,000 that have died from COVID and flu deaths are way down? And that is seen as some kind of a thing that this is really the flu. And, you know, you just got to remind people because we're all wearing masks and keeping distance, and that's how the flu passes. So I do want to say to our panelists who lost a family member and anybody else, I am truly sorry and devastated, and I hope you can find some solace in the work you're doing. You know, lots of what we're talking about, I think the important part here is we look back at past actions and we do a lot of whataboutism. Well, Democrats did this, and the Democrats say the Republicans did this, and you're never going to win an argument that way. I think in the future of disinformation, the key is to call it out in your own party. I'll tell you, if some of you lefties on this panel, you know, call my base and tell them something, they're not going to listen to you. But if I say it, they're much more likely to. And I think that's where it's important for each party and each political philosophy to take a personal account for what you are telling your constituents and people that are listening to you. Because I got to tell you, as much as this debate is important, if this society falls apart, we're going to look back and say, not just we could have done more, we're going to say all the things we argued about were nothing in comparison to the fact that now society has failed and my dad can't get his heart medicine or something like that. So this is deadly serious. And I think it's important for everybody to remember this is far beyond what it means for the next election and who's going to win the majority and anything like that. And we need a 10-part series to cover the way that government officials, media, and the public have contributed to this. But I think we need to focus today on fear and anger associated with our discourse. The national news media has a substantial role in society, but over time we've seen traditional news reporting devolve into opinion reporting. Too often national news outlets give primetime slots to opinion personalities over news reports, and some of these personalities will start a segment by reporting the top lines of a current event, but then they quickly transition and spend more time on expressing their political hot take on the matter. They point figures, they create, you know, political narratives, and more time on that than they do offering important background and details and letting you make your own decision. Plus the fact that we're being hit from every front with all kinds of information. Eventually it's like if you're being attacked on three sides, you're just going to jump into a foxhole and hide and listen to the one person that maybe you trust, and that person can now take a hold of anything you believe and tell you anything. There's plenty of evidence to show that fear-mongering and fomenting anger drives engagement and ratings. We know that. And similar constructs, of course, can be applied to social media. Ultimately, this fosters a culture of fear and clickbait to get attention. Civility is not limited to the words we choose or to the tone that we employ. It means respecting one another as equals through our shared humanity. And as it applies to this hearing, civility means prioritizing the reporting of facts over opinions and then trusting the public to interpret the events for themselves and assign the right value. I do want to make a general distinction, though, again, between national and local media, as was discussed. There's always exceptions, but I got to tell you, I'm a big fan of local media and local news. I think it's very fact-based. It can show people, where to get the latest vaccine, what's going on. I think the degradation or the disappearing of local news is a real concern. They also can play a very good role, as we've seen, in exposing scams that are out there that we've seen, for instance, of seniors and others. So I'm all for keeping it local. I do want to ask, though, Professor Turley, mis and disinformation have to be addressed in a bipartisan fashion. We know that foreign actors utilize both to sow the seeds of discord and to threaten democracies across the globe. And at the same time, the most important principle of democracy is the freedom of speech and expression. But I worry that we are crossing into yelling fire in a theater if it is this dangerous. So let me ask you, I'm interested in exploring the legal ways to curb disinformation and protect the First Amendment. Given the important role the media has, what do you think about these outlets having to make it clear to their audience when their segments are opinion versus fact?
Well, I think that is important. There's a blurring that has occurred. If you go past 6 o'clock on most cable networks, you're pretty much in the realm of opinion today, and it does blur. And I think what you said earlier, Congressman, is really important.
Now, they go through, he's interested in a legal way, and I know I made you listen to a lot of Adam Kidd, a legal way to curb disinformation, okay, and opinion versus fact. This was and I know that might have been a little boring, but this was a 3-hour hearing on fanning the flames, okay? He's interested in a legal way of curbing disinformation. Now, this guy, and we're very close to yelling, or we're at yelling, fire in a crowded theater. Now, who's he referring to? President Donald J. Trump, right? Legal way to curb disinformation. Now, a couple things. I find it interesting on a couple different levels. Give me number 23. Okay, this has come out as we close. Women bear the brunt of job loss, coronavirus job crisis. Okay, job loss 5.3 million, left the workforce 2.5 million. Better child care may help women get back to work. Better child care. Hey, why don't we just do this? Why don't we do the Joe Biden storage container illegals daycare plan and implement that for your children? Yes, we have a daycare system at the border for illegals daycare, that we are running daycares on the border, and we're putting them in storage containers down there, not cages, the kids. But we can help and get you your own storage container for your child today so you can get back to work. Everything's a scam. Number 24, better child care can help women get back to work. Meaning, one more, could there be another step in giving your children to the government? Give me number 36. Number 36, can Biden fix the Postal Service? They fixed the election. Why couldn't they fix the Postal Service? I thought it was fixed. They fixed the election, right? Give me number 27. An uptick in minors crossing the border may result in Biden administration's building more shelters. An uptick in minors crossing the border. What happens when minors cross the border? Parents come, grandparents come, chain migration. Well, we're running a daycare at the border, an uptick of minor. Here's one that just makes my day. I think it's number 28. Is it 28? Isn't this just, it's another Joe Biden miracle. Lawyers have found the parents of 105 separated migrant children in the past month. 105 of those poor kids that Donald Trump ripped from the clutches of their parents, screaming, "Mommy, mommy, mommy." Donald Trump personally on the border, ripping them from their parents. And Joe Biden, another miracle. In just a month, they have found the parents of 105 separated migrant children in the past month. You can't make that up. So today at noon is the hearing. Find it on C-SPAN 3. I'm serious. Because Becerra, they asked him about abortion. I want to see number 15. This is a man who thinks he's a woman. Right. And this man will show up as a woman today at noon on C-SPAN 3 to go through confirmation hearings to be the assistant Health and Human Services Director to block puberty of your children, at least till 12, right? And help form your children or help your children to not form a gender identity just because the hospital or science says whatever. So today, give me number 11. This individual, don't forget, at noon, Levine, okay? At noon today, 10, in a minute, C-SPAN 3. I think I'll go there now. We'll see you tomorrow morning at Circuit World. Circuit World tomorrow morning on FYNTV.com. We'll see you there. That's all I have, Emily. You can take us out of here.